Have you ever met someone whose mind just works differently? They speak little, but say much. They listen more than they talk. And when they act, it's with calm power. These people have something special, a quiet kind of brilliance that's hard to explain, but impossible to ignore.
What if I told you that you could learn the very habits that set them apart? In a world full of noise, chaos, and surface-level thinking, highly intelligent individuals stand out, not because they shout the loudest, but because they live the deepest. They move differently, they think differently, and most importantly, they see life through a lens of wisdom most people miss. Today, we're diving into the 6 standout habits that these people share. Habits that will not only expand your mind, but may just change your life forever.
So sit back, relax, and prepare yourself. Not for another motivational speech, but for a journey. A journey into the minds of the wise, into the psychology of the rare, into the habits that make the difference between existing and truly living.
Let's begin. 1. They practice deep observation, not just surface looking.
In a noisy world, most people skim through life. They look, but they don't see. They hear, but they don't listen. But highly intelligent people, they observe. They don't just walk into a room, they feel its energy. They notice the body language, the silence between words, the meaning behind expressions. They ask questions like, why did he pause before answering? Or, what's not being said here? Ancient wisdom tells us, the eyes are useless when the mind is blind. Seneca, a great Stoic thinker, once said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." And wasting time often begins with wasting attention. Intelligent people guard their attention like a precious gem. They're not easily distracted. They focus deeply on what matters. Whether it's a book, a conversation, or even their own thoughts, they zoom in until they reach the heart of the matter. This habit of deep observation makes them powerful decision makers. They see the patterns others miss. While others react emotionally, they respond with clarity. But here's the key. This skill isn't magic. It's trained. It's the result of slowing down, being present, and listening with more than your ears. When you practice deep observation, you begin to notice the invisible threads that connect everything. So ask yourself, are you truly observing or just glancing through life? 2. They think before they speak. Every word has weight. In today's world, talking fast, loud, and often is celebrated. But the wise, they understand something deeper. Silence speaks volumes. Highly intelligent people don't rush into conversations just to fill the air. They pause, they consider, they understand that words are like arrows. Once released, they can't be taken back. An old proverb says, "A fool is known by his many words, but the wise man is known by his few." The Stoics believed in logos, the power of reason and speech. To them, words weren't for showing off, they were tools of truth. Every sentence from a highly intelligent person feels intentional. When they speak, people listen, not because of how loud they are, but because of how rare their words are. They also understand timing. There's a time to speak truth and a time to hold it. Wisdom is not just knowing what to say, but knowing when to say it and how to say it. This habit doesn't mean being passive. It means being deliberate. It means choosing your words as if they could build or destroy worlds, because sometimes they can. So, the next time you're tempted to speak without thinking, pause. Ask yourself, is it true? Is it necessary? Is it kind? If not, maybe silence is the smarter choice. 3. They seek solitude to recharge and reflect. In a world addicted to busyness and validation,
solitude feels strange. But to the highly intelligent, solitude isn't loneliness, it's fuel. These individuals often disappear from the noise, not because they're antisocial, but because their minds crave depth, not distraction. In the quiet, they think deeply. They examine their own thoughts, beliefs, and actions. They grow. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, wrote, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." In solitude, the intelligent ask powerful questions. Why did that bother me? What does this decision say about my values? What am I avoiding? They journal. They walk. They sit in silence. They let their thoughts rise to the surface, like ink in still water. And in that clarity, they see what most people miss. This habit doesn't mean cutting people off. It means creating space. Because in that space, truth is born. The modern world fears boredom, but boredom is often the birthplace of brilliance. Many of the world's greatest ideas were born in silence, in caves, forests, and quiet rooms. So if you want to think like the wise, don't run from solitude. Run toward it. 4. They embrace discomfort as a path to growth. Comfort is seductive. It feels safe. But comfort also breeds stagnation. Highly intelligent individuals understand that discomfort is not the enemy. It's the doorway. They don't avoid hard conversations. They don't run from failure. They face what others fear. Epictetus, the Stoic philosopher, said, "Difficulties show a person's character." These people embrace challenges, not because they enjoy pain, but because they know growth lives there. When others complain, they learn. When others quit, they adapt. They ask, "What is this moment trying to teach me?" That mindset turns every setback into a step forward. They also challenge themselves intentionally. They take cold showers, they wake up early, they study difficult topics, not because they have to, but because doing hard things makes you stronger. And here's the real secret. The more discomfort you're willing to face, the freer you become. Free from fear, free from excuses, free to evolve. So when you feel uncomfortable, lean in. That's not weakness, it's growth knocking on your door. 5. They value inner peace over outer praise. Most people live for the applause, the likes, the validation. But highly intelligent people live by a different code. They ask, "What do I think of myself when no one's watching?" They're not moved by trends or popularity. They're grounded in principles, in self-respect, in inner stillness. There's an ancient proverb, "He who trims himself to suit everyone will soon whittle himself away." Intelligent people understand that chasing approval is a trap. It's a race with no finish line. Instead, they focus on character, on integrity, on doing what's right, even when it's unpopular. The Stoics believed that peace comes from living in harmony with your values, not with the crowd. That's why these individuals often seem calm in chaos. They've trained their minds not to react, but to respond. This habit creates unshakable strength, because when you're anchored within, the outside world can't control you. So, stop asking, "Do they like me?" Start asking, "Do I respect the way I live?" 6. They learn relentlessly and apply ruthlessly. Intelligent people are not know-it-alls. They're learn-it-alls. They never stop growing. Every book, every podcast, every failure is fuel. But more importantly, they don't just collect knowledge, they apply it. Socrates said, "The only true wisdom is in knowing you know nothing." This humility keeps their minds open. They don't learn to impress others. They learn to evolve, to understand themselves, to serve better, to live wiser. They reflect on each day, asking, "What did I learn? And how can I use this tomorrow?" That habit turns knowledge into power. It's not enough to read about courage. You must act with courage. It's not enough to know peace. You must practice peace. The intelligent don't wait for perfect conditions. They apply what they know now. That's what creates results. So, if you want to be truly intelligent, don't just learn more, apply more. Closing thoughts. These 6 habits are not tricks. They're not shortcuts. They are the deep patterns of the wise, patterns built through reflection, courage, and discipline. Observe deeply, speak wisely, seek solitude, embrace discomfort, value peace, and never stop learning. This is the way of the intelligent. Now the question is, will you walk it? If this spoke to your soul, if you felt something shift inside you, don't keep it to yourself. Like, share, and most importantly, subscribe. Because we're just getting started. More wisdom is waiting.